Hello, everybody, and welcome to our commentary on the Death Stranding release date trailer. Yes, the release date trailer. Interesting name. So basically, everybody, this is the trailer, of course, that is making all the Kojima fans and even non-Kojima fans go nuts on the internet. So why not talk about it? But first, before we start, allow me to mention Kojima's introduction right before the trailer was teased, which he posted on Twitter. Allow me. People have built walls and become accustomed to living in isolation. Death Stranding is a completely new type of action game where the player's goal is to reconnect isolated cities in a fragmented society. All elements, including the story and gameplay, are bound together by the theme of strand, or connection, if you prefer. As Sam Porter Bridges, who is played by Norman Reedus, you will attempt to bridge these divisions, and in doing so, create new bonds or strands with other players around the globe. So apparently there's going to be an online element where you can actually meet other players. We'll have to wait and see. Through your experience playing the game, I hope you'll come to understand the true importance of forging connections with others. Now, please enjoy the latest Death Stranding trailer. So basically, it's
the plot of Ni no Kuni 2, just Kojima.
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
Also, that was real subtle, Kojima.
Yes.
Real.
This is the man who in the late 80s, early 90s, openly criticized America overuse of petroleum and invading Arabian countries for getting it. The man doesn't lack subtlety completely. But anyway.
I know.
Anyway, I'm ready.
So yes, folks, as part of our lead into E3 of this year, we'll be looking at some trailer stuff, starting off with one of the most talked about trailers of all time, to the point where there are literally hour-long reactions, the Death Stranding release date trailer.
Yeah, so, we're going to be full analytical on this.
We probably won't be as analytical as those other people, but either way, I'm here to watch it for the first time ever and see what all the hubbub's about.
Also, Dweeb's analysis is not a buzzword.
Of course, let's start off with the baby giving you the thumbs up and going into his mouth this time, okay?
I put it like this, Dweeb, just because some people overanalyze, that doesn't mean we should start under-analyzing. We should have a middle ground between.
Middleizing, then. There you go, that's a new word.
There you go, then. So yeah, and guess what? The villain is played by Mads Mikkelsen.
Wait, that's a villain?
It's apparently, it's not entirely clear, but I kind of get the vibe that he's supposed to be the villain.
I swear. I just get the vibe.
Considering it's a Kojima game, he's probably just a misunderstood guy who has his life fucked over way too many times.
It's only been in Rogue One recently. It's only been in Rogue One recently where he didn't play the villain.
Oh, Mads Mikkelsen, are you saying that he's kind of like a guy who usually plays villain?
Yes, he plays Hannibal Lecter in the TV series.
Yeah, it was the villain in Doctor Strange, so yeah.
I don't get the inkling that he's a villain here, more like he's just someone who's talking to a baby. There seems to be a lot of in this game.
The new big information, previously we thought that there was only one major villain faction that Norman Reedus had to fight with his own organization. But now it seems to be this world is scattered, and there seems to be multiple factions going on. Not just but
let me mention this.
Okay. Yeah, okay. The music, I guess.
Kojima edits his own trailers, and he always makes such great music choices for his trailers.
Again, he's similar to Hideo Kojima. He's such a Western moving fan that he knows most, Western bands and everything.
So yeah, the basic gist of it is that it's an open world.
Really a ladder.
It's an open world action game.
Ladder.
As you can see, it's an open world action game that uses an engine that's very similar to Metal Gear Solid 5. And basically, it's basically a stealth game. However, unlike Phantom Pain, where it had an option to go full blown with shooting, this one seems to be a more back to the roots kind of thing for Kojima, where it emphasizes stealth more than anything.
There you go. Troy Baker apparently is part of these minor factions that are like scavengers and bandits, who are trying to get the most out of what they want.
They're extremists.
I also get the feeling he's also a bad guy. This one is
Troy, personal space.
There you go. There you go. Troy is definitely the bad guy.
Remember, Pedro, never judge a book by its cover. For all we know, that woman is truly an evil monster looking to kill them all. It wouldn't be the first time.
So yeah,
No,
just
the-
like, so yeah, as you can see, you can hide in the grass again.
Like in
Classic, this
Horizon
is,
Zero Dawn too.
well, there's plenty of games that have done the whole hide in the
True,
grass
true,
thing.
true. But what is it? But
But
anyway,
Nah,
Kojima was already doing this in Snake Eater. This is not
True.
even a new.
No, guys, I got it. The grass is the main thing. We're so used to
Oh,
hiding.
this is not Ultima. What was the Ultima game where the
free
grass was-
where the floor attacks you.
Yeah, basically, no, this is not Ultima Free Lives. We're not going to be fighting the grass.
There you go. Also, as you can see, the combat seems to be a bit more rough, therefore it's not the primary focus, while instead you're trying to be stealthy and carrying your things away. However,
The focus primarily is on stealth,
Oh.
from what we can see
Hold
here.
on.
the other faction, the one that's been teased from the very beginning,
The BTs, aka the Dementors of this game, kinda. And yeah, and from what we can tell, the Bridge Baby apparently they're a power source for technology that they use against
for
the BTs.
not necessarily for repelling, but to visualize them so they can avoid it like this.
There you go. So yeah, you have to try your best not to get seen, because if you get seen, well, we'll see what happens.
Shit happens.
So since in this
lot of
universe,
shit
babies
happens.
are little used as a power source to detect an evil monster that will suck you drier than a desert.
Yes.
So what happens to the baby?
Yes.
Oh boy.
Basically,
Apparently, there's more-
This
there's even-
happens to you. There you go.
There's even more footage in the Japanese versions where you fight even bosses if you get caught too many times, apparently. So that's interesting.
Seems like a leftover from whatever Silent Hills was
Those
supposed to be.
ladies. Yeah, and apparently now we have these things that transition into, scenes from World War One, but there's more like ghostly and stuff like
Those who
that.
cannot break the connection.
Mind you, ever since the beginning, the first teaser trailer, I meant Mike, there was these overall tone and references to time travel and black holes. So it's possible that these remnants that you can see due to time dispersion or something.
Those
There you
who
go, there's
stuck
still-
with the stake.
There's still going to be shooting as well. I love the music. See, it's such a brilliant choice of music.
I thought was that. I thought that was Finch from Person of Interest for a second.
It's Nicholas Winding Refn, the director of Driver.
Wait, he's an actor too.
No. That's the thing. That Kojima got his looks. He scanned him for the mocap, but the actual actor playing the character is a different guy. Like he wanted the character to look like him, but the
Same
actual
with Guillermo del Toro.
Same with Guillermo del Toro, because Guillermo del Toro's look is in the game, but he's not the one actually doing the voice.
There you go.
There you go.
Hartman. Die Hartman.
Die Hard, man.
Some things don't change, Kojima,
No,
do
this
they?
this is the guy who created a character called Jungle Evil.
Hot Coleman, Fatman. Yeah, sometimes the name creation, requires lack of fantasy. Oh.
Hey, what were you saying earlier about him not doing the whole subtlety thing?
And now everything's blue. Because
Blue,
From what we can see, apparently Norman is trying to do something that Emily wants, aka the actress, the character played by Lindsay Wagner. Apparently, it's that's what Lindsay Wagner is saying earlier in the trailer, that we should stand together or just be or we'll be destroyed.
Is he trying to summon a persona?
Yes. That this is actually the true sequel to
roll
Persona 3.
credits.
Yeah.
Yes, Kojima. I also saw Apocalypse Now. Yeah, that was a really good movie.
war is hell.
The horror.
Have you seen Apocalypse Now, guys?
No.
Yes. Obviously I saw it. I actually saw it when I was way too young for
hold
seeing
on.
it.
Jova, I know what you're thinking, Jova. This particular scene that we're watching right now, I mean, it looks pretty cool and badass. However, it doesn't look quite badass enough. There's just
We need something
What are we
more.
missing, Jova?
there's just something missing.
Oh, zombies?
Well, remember that's Mike's crew, but we are
Yeah,
connected
of
to
course.
him.
Good guess, but no.
There we go.
There we go. Now,
Now it looks like a heavy metal band cover album.
And then
Hey.
it comes to when it was
Like-
like, oh shit.
This trailer taught me so much, yet has made
And yet
me
so
even more
little.
confused.
Honestly, considering you know who's behind this, that's actually the best reaction you could possibly have.
This is so more than 5 seconds of gameplay. This is
Well, the thing of the matter, like Kojima wants to keep the plot secretive, so to give you the best element of surprise. Consider combining this trailer with the description you already gave us on Twitter. I already have a good enough grasp on what the game is about. Enough.
Also,
I don't really need any more, honestly.
Oh god, that is so meta.
now, please.
He's about to get even more meta. Listen.
The whole wide world will be yours to explore.
You don't say.
You don't say, Kojima. I mean, Mads.
Even the more, mind you, the logo teaser for the Kojima production, the one with Ludens, has what is basically Norman Reedus in the Ludens armor on the moon. So people thinking that he was teasing that ever since.
Calling it right now, one of the big twists is that it's going to turn out that Norman Reedus used to be one of those power baby things.
Honestly, Jova, I'm not trying because one, there's way too much stuff to unpack, and second, we still know not much about it. So, and point is rather hazardous on my part.
Like I said, combining the short little summary that Kojima made on Twitter before releasing the trailer, and with the visual symbolism and storytelling that we see just from what we see here, I already have a firm enough grasp on what the game is about. So honestly, I'm okay with not knowing anything past this. I'm perfectly okay with being surprised with the rest. So fine for me. Jova, what do you think?
Yeah, first impression and everything.
Well, it looks like it's going to be quite an experience.
Like that's basically what you can say.
I mean, okay, to try and narrow down stuff more specifically, not too sure about the gameplay. It does look like it'll be fun stealth-wise. Not quite sure about the combat. Wondering about also how the vehicular stuff will be used where they're here right now. If we can get a good balance between, say, Metal Gear Solid 1 and Metal Gear Solid 5 and Metal Gear Solid 3, we should be in the clear. The story definitely looks interesting, though I'll admit I'm a bit, well, I wouldn't say anticlimactic. I'm not quite sure who to root for from this trailer. Like, yeah, supposedly some people look like the good guys or the bad guys, but come on. It's typical Kojima tradition.
Incredibly morally great throughout with everyone involved.
Pretty much.
Well, I don't know. It'll probably be like Reedus dies 50 minutes into the game and he plays Troy Baker for the rest of it.
Let's not forget
wouldn't
the
that
climax.
be funny?
Joe, but let's not forget the climax of Metal Gear 2. Like, it's Kojima's off. There's going to be some moral ambiguity on who exactly is the bad guy.
Yeah. That too.
Go ahead.
So, yeah. I don't know what to think. I mean, I know more, but it feels like I also know less. So,
can I go next?
I'll just say it looks exciting.
Sure.
All right, Weebs.
All right. I think I've got more of an idea of what I think than Jova does.
Good for you.
Yeah, like you said, it's Ni no Kuni 2, but Kojima-like.
Yeah. That's it. The plot is basically Ni no Kuni 2. It's just Kojima's doing it instead of Hideo. And okay.
If you'll permit me, Dwebs, I get the feeling maybe this is what the Japanese think of when they look at the current climate in the West, culture-wise. Maybe
what they think we get our power from babies.
Yeah.
No. What I mean is that like they really think we should stop dividing ourselves into groups so much. I guess that's what the Japanese apparently think of us right now.
Then, in that case, I would candidly call them hypocrites.
Anyway,
Well, go ahead.
Okay. I can definitely speak in terms of the graphics. It's a very good-looking game, and you know it's got well, again, you kind of expect that considering the guy making it. Good graphics for the time.
If you'll allow me, Dubs, Yoshi Shinkawa, the art director of Kojima, that he's been with him most of his career, he's the one who always makes these games look gorgeous. Go ahead.
Yeah.
But yeah, the gameplay is probably not going to be my cup of tea, so unfortunately on that, because you know it is a video game, I'll probably just stick to either YouTube LPs, the occasional share play with which one of you guys gets a game on PS Plus.
I'm getting it day one.
Story-wise, again, I've been rather mixed on Kojima's story and the execution of it. And the fact that the story here is pretty much I'm not saying he ripped it off, but it's pretty similar. And that was told much simpler. I wonder how much complicated he can make this without. I can only speak for me, without making me go bananas trying to figure it.
Don't let him hear you. He'll take that as a challenge.
Yeah.
Keep in mind.
He's
sorry.
listening.
Well, keep in mind, Dubs, this game started development in early 2016, shortly before it was announced. So there was no real way for Kojima to rip anything off from that. So
Someone's gonna.
Anyway.
But unfortunately, I can't speak for the sound because I could barely hear it because obviously from me in my
Sure.
loud. So yeah, it's definitely a video game. I hope.
You don't say.
Again, I hope. But it's probably not going to be my cup of tea. And with that, I'm going to have to burp for a second. I'll see you in a bit.
See it. All right. Sure.
Again, the story is where my interest lies primarily. I mean, but there's nothing against the gameplay at all. I'm sure it's perfectly fine. It's just not something I usually go for. But I would like to get it when it is released. Well, we now have a date for that.
Uh-huh.
But
Yeah.
yes, again, the story is where my main interest lies.
I'm guessing you're gonna have Alice play it while you watch.
I'll try to play it.
All right.
Makes sense.
But yeah, I'm confused. And that's okay.
Join the club.
Sometimes
Yeah.
it's okay to be confused.
Sometimes it's okay to be confused. Just
I
a
know
breath
that
of
that's
fresh
the
air.
right thing in this particular situation, so yay? That's all I have to say.
This is commentary, right? Kojima loves to string his fans along and keep them guessing, so that they'll be even more surprised when they actually play the game itself.
Yeah.
That's kind of
No,
Alright,
I
but-
get that. It's a good thing.
all right. Teo finishes off, I guess.
Yeah. It's fine. It looks and sounds exactly as the first teasers were promised. Star power, a deep integrated plot that Kojima is famous to do so. Tons of reference to Western culture of all kind done by a Japanese person, similar to Hideo Kojima, like I mentioned before. And the gameplay is similar to Metal Gear, the recent Metal Gear games. Even managing to get an engine that's similar to the Fox engine, but it's not. They actually named it, but I forgot specifically what it's called. I remember the first teaser, Kojima was still saying that he hadn't decided an engine to use yet. So
actually, Teo, that was more so when he was the graphics engine. The graphics engine is the Decima engine, the same engine that Guerrilla Games used to make
Horizon Zero Dawn. Yeah,
the
it makes so
gameplay
much
engine.
sense.
It's the gameplay engine that it's internal. It's remember because Kojima and his team who are making this game, they were the ones who made the Fox engine to begin with. So they unlike Konami, they know how to replicate it. So fortunately, they just made the same thing again with a different name, from what I can tell.
But yeah, it's fine. And I forgot if I mentioned this in the past, but this also gives a good excuse for Sony to have in their lineup an actual, decent game made by a Japanese team, or at least a Japanese main their director. Because
I would argue that Gravity Rush 2 was pretty great, but
no, it was. The problem is that unless until recently with the International Women's Day poster, Cat has been,
Dormant.
put on not put on a bus, but put on the shelves. Even Team Gravity has been reincorporated into Japan studio on its own.
Yak, baby.
No, but that's besides the point. The point is that right now Sony has this kind of lack of balance where it's relying mostly on its Western teams, while the Japanese division is doing either something minor or something mediocre like Knack that we just mentioned. So this instead seems to be putting that part of the scale on the right type of balance, which I'm all down for it. I'm not sure if I'll get it day one, mostly because of backlog, not for anything else. But if there's the possibility, sure, why not? I'm still planning on playing it in the future anyway, so I'm fine with it. It's just a matter of time. So I guess
for me, it's just a little quick thing, if you allow me. For me, it's just like I first played Metal Gear Solid 1 when I was 12, and that game completely changed my life. It inspired me immensely and changed my entire perspective on video games as a medium and as an art form. So I am a profound admiration and respect for Hideo Kojima and his work. And my devotion just compels me to just play this thing day one, so I can once again I get to have that feeling that I can only get from a Kojima game, and that to me is just priceless and wonderful to have again. So I cannot wait.
All right then. So I guess we'll see you. Well, for now we'll see you for E3 when it happens. As for the game itself, we'll see. I mean, we still have to get to the first Metal Gear Solid anyway. But anyway, we'll see you for any eventuality.
See ya.
Later.
See ya.
See ya.